So what is the best Rode USB mic? In this video, I'm gonna be comparing the Rode Podcaster with the Rode NTUSB and talking about some of the pros and cons of each of them. Coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media TV, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And on this channel, we do tips and strategy videos, as well as tech gear reviews just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And hey, at any point during the video, check out show notes and links in the description below. I'll list out all the specs of each of the mics, as well as anything else that I forgot. Let's jump into the video. So I've been wanting to upgrade my audio setup at my home office at my desk here for a while now, especially because I do a lot of voiceovers for YouTube videos, a lot of live streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube, as well as just typical meetings through Zoom or Google Hangouts. And I wanted to really get a solid, dependable setup that I could put on like a scissor arm. And I was just kind of curious, like what is the best, mic really out there for a setup like this? And it was cool because I reached out to Rode and we were able to collaborate. So they sent me out some gear to test, and I've been able to check out these two different mics, two different styles, obviously two different colors, and just different things about each of them. So I know that maybe like me, you're trying to figure out, what's the right USB mic for your scenarios. So let's break down each of these and talk about some of the features. So the first one is the Rode Podcaster. Now this setup is really nice, it's super clean, it's super pro, but this is also a much more expensive setup than just going with the NT USB, but we'll get to that in a second. You start off with the Rode Podcaster mic itself. It's actually a beautifully designed mic, really well made, all kind of steel construction, and has a lot of weight to it. And then it just comes in the box though with just the mic. So if you get this, you basically need the arm for sure. You wanna add that. The mic comes in at $229 at the time of shooting this video, and you can check out prices in the description below for just the mic. Then you can add the boom arm. That's another $99 if you get the Rode one, which is phenomenal. It's been really great working right here. And then you also are gonna really probably wanna grab a shock mount for this mic as well. And so the Rode shock mount is another $39 here in the US, and that goes on there as well. And so it comes in at about $367 for this entire setup. You could certainly shop that down by maybe looking for some sales or exchanging some of the pieces. I think there's even some combo kits that you can check out. And then one thing that's important to note about this mic is it has a built-in pop filter. And so you can see it in right here. This guy is in there, covers over the mic there, and that is so you don't necessarily need some sort of other pop filter. However, a lot of people would recommend that you maybe still add one. Also, depending on your speaking style. For me, plosives are a problem. My P words, like for whatever reason, I would add another pop filter to that. So we could talk about that. I've worked with the Repop pop filter, which is one of the most expensive filters. It's about the only one that you can add on here. It comes in at $59 for kind of a stylish aluminum style pop filter. But the other one is the WS2. And so the WS2 comes in at around $20. It just slips right on the Rode Podcaster. And that's a great solution. It's gonna give you great sound, especially if you want a little bit extra filtration of your plosives and of your voice overall. Now, one of the biggest things to note with this entire setup is how it looks. So if you're just doing audio or you're just doing podcasting, then maybe that's not an issue. And if this setup looks very functional and it would work for you, that's great. But for me, I'm actually doing a lot of video content with these USB microphones. And so in this case, it's gonna be coming in to the right of my shot, here, and it's gonna be pretty hard to not have in the shot unless I want the mic far away. But keep in mind that these microphones are meant to be, you wanna be a few inches away from them. Typically, you don't wanna have them far away from you. And so I've got my webcam up there, and so I actually really kind of like the look and the vibe of the NT-USB. This is great and certainly lethal for podcasting. And even potentially video. But again, you'd also want to consider how it looks. And so that's also why I invested in the BSW pop filter, because it has kind of a cooler vibe to it that isn't as bulky as this. So again, just a few tips that you could use for depending on whether there's going to be visuals involved or just audio, and a couple different solutions. Okay, so we'll compare how the mics sound in just a second, but let's break down the Rode NT-USB and talk about some of the specs and features on this one. What I love about this mic is it comes in at $167 at the time of shooting this video here in the US on Amazon, and you get not just the mic itself, but you also get the pop filter, which is very stylish, built in, real cool vibe to it. And then you also get a table stand. So what's nice is you have a solution that is an all-in-one in case you don't want to invest in the boom arm, in the shock mount, in the various other accessories. And so certainly this is the better choice if you're looking for something on a budget, but then you can get into some more sophistication as far as if you know, what kind of sound quality you want and things like that. And personally, I use this mic on the boom arm, so that's another $100. So again, it comes in at $266 for this with the boom arm versus, you know, about $100 more to do this setup. Both super solid setups, but just different. And that brings us to our sound tests. All right, so now here is a test of the Rode Podcaster audio. Now, a couple things to note is that, again, this has the repop kind of cool vibey filter on there. You don't necessarily need that, right? It does have a built-in pop filter. And so if you were gonna pick this mic up, I would recommend just maybe testing it out with your voice first before investing in something like this or in something like this you know, more foam style one right here. But overall, this mic sounds great. Now also keep in mind that it is a dynamic microphone, and so it takes a little bit more gain to drive it than other microphones. So even the NT-USB. Now it sounds great, but as far as our Windows settings, we have it set at 92 in the recording volume out of 100 to get this volume right here, which is a nice full sound. But we can't really push it more than that, but I think it's great. Sounds good. So now let's compare this to the Rode NT-USB. Okay, and now here is a test of the Rode NT-USB. Now, we'll show you some B-roll of how this looks when we have it set up on here. But just for the audio test, here's how this one sounds now. Again, a little bit different gain levels, which I don't think is a big deal, but this one is at 65 out of 100 on our Windows settings, and so it doesn't really need as much power to drive it. But from our tests, they're pretty similar. You know, I think depending on maybe if you want to do music, you want to do some instruments, you want to do some other kind of, you know, vocals that are more dynamic, then this microphone could be what you need. But for your typical everyday, like live streaming, podcasting, both are super solid. And so, but you know, you decide. Let me know in the comments below, what do you like about the different sounds of either the Podcaster or the NT-USB? All right, so there you go with the sound test, which brings us to the question of the day, and that is, which one do you think is the best Rode USB mic? Do you think it's the Podcaster? Do you think it's the NT-USB? Why not? Or maybe there's another Rode mic that you've tested that you think is great and is one of the contenders for the best. Let me know in the comment section below, and remember that some of the best tips and feedback come from you, the Think Media TV community, so definitely connect with everybody in the comments section. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. Hit the like button if you got value out of this video. If you want to see the playlist and my full review of the NT-USB, we'll put that in the description, as well as also some various different pop filter options, including ones that we didn't talk about in this video. We'll put that in the description as well. And also, if you haven't downloaded the Think Media TV Video Gear Buyer's Guide, it's actually a complete guide where I go through my top recommendations of cameras, tripods, microphones for every different setup and every different budget. So we'll link that up in the description as well, or on the YouTube card. Until next time, Think Media is bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.